always.
Do you identify more as a Democrat or a Republican?
Well, you'd be shocked if I said that in many cases I probably identify more as a Democrat. And I think you'd probably be shocked.
On social issues?
You know, it's interesting. I've been now around long. You know, I think of myself as a young guy, but I'm not so young anymore. And I've been around for a long time. And it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. Now, it shouldn't be that way. But if you go back, I mean, it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats
Well,
than
it
the
certainly did
Republicans.
well under Clinton.
Certainly we had some very good economies under Democrats. We've had some pretty bad disaster under the Republicans.
Who would you like representing the United States in a deal with Iran, with this regime there?
Well, I think you have different people. I think Rudy would do a very good job. He'd be very much more militant. I think Hillary would have. Hillary's always surrounded herself with very good people. I think Hillary would do a good job. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years. I live in New York. She lives in New York. And I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. And I think she really works hard. And I think she, again, she's given an agenda that's not all of her, but I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job. And I like her. I just like her. I like her, and I like her husband. Her husband made a speech on Monday at Mar-a-Lago, and it was very well received. And he's a really good guy, and she's a really good person and woman.
Here at World 5, we aren't biased. We simply report the facts. And the fact is, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump used to be friends. Even though both families are from New York, and even though they have a strong presence in business and politics, we can all agree that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are two completely different people. Coming up, we have a look at their views, their different supporters, and the way that they want to create a different future for America. Join us as we have a look at how Hillary and Trump used to actually be friends. Now, this is certainly a rocky friendship, but it has definitely seen better days in the past. Proof number 1. You know, Donald Trump has been uncommonly nice to Hillary and me. We're all New Yorkers and I like him, and I love playing golf with him. That's a statement that Bill Clinton made to CNN in 2012. And earlier that year, Trump stated that Clinton was actually a really good guy. These friendship feels seem to be mutual, at some point at least in their lives, but it's no surprise that both have retreated their statements during the 2016 election race. And the fact is, their statements are supported by plenty of photo remains. Clinton and Trump used to be golf buddies. Now that's a game that we might not mind watching. Proof number 2. Trump defended Clinton's Monica Lewinsky scandal. In an interview with CNBC in 1998, Trump claimed that Clinton should absolutely refuse to answer any questions about his sex life, stating, quote, "It's a terrible thing for a president to take the Fifth Amendment, but he probably should have done it." 10 years later, he gave out his statement. Look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant, and they tried to impeach him, which was nonsense. Now, Trump's also downplayed the scandal in his own way, saying that it was sad because he would go down as a great president if he'd not had the scandal, and people would have been more forgiving if he'd had an affair with a really beautiful woman of sophistication, also stating that Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe were on a different level. And it's no surprise that he seemed to have gone back on his words since then. During this year's election, Trump has referred to the Monica Lewinsky scandal as being fair game politics. In December of 2015, he also tweeted, "If Hillary thinks she can unleash her husband with his terrible record of woman abuse while playing the woman's card on me, she's wrong." We can safely claim this alone was probably the end of their friendship. Proof number 3. Quote, "The First Lady is a wonderful woman who has handled pressure incredibly well." Those are the words that were used by Donald Trump himself in his 1997 book called The Art of the Comeback, and was also supported by a photo of Donald and Hillary at the White House. Feelings sure do change, don't they? And that's not the only time the Trumps would endorse the Clintons. When Bill Clinton ran for president the first time, the Trumps were around. They were around a lot. and they seem to be really close with his now rivals. Donald Trump's ex-wife Marla Maples urged her friends to support Clinton in a 2007 email, where she also stated, "I really have enjoyed the time I've spent with Hillary. She's very clear, very focused, and I feel we will at least have a voice and be received with a welcoming and open ear." Furthermore, here's a 2012 tweet by Donald Trump himself. "Bill Clinton did a great job last night. The Democrats are lucky to have him. Do you really believe he likes Barack Obama?" Proof number 4. Bill and Hillary Clinton attended Donald Trump's wedding. Donald Trump reportedly stated that when he needed Hillary, she was there. And when he told them to go to his wedding, they went to his wedding. And that's not even the end of it. They were also invited to sit in the front row and appeared to have had a good time. Trump also reportedly tried to invite himself to Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010 without success. But unfortunately, he was not on the guest list and gave up on convincing people that he was. When questioned about the event these days, the two have very differing opinions on the subject. Hillary stated that she just happened to be in Florida and thought that it would be fun to go to the Donald's wedding because he's always entertaining, while Donald Trump claims that Hillary had no choice but to go because he donated to the Clinton Foundation in 2009. Trump did in fact donate $100,000 to the Clinton Foundation. I wonder what kind of political move that was on his part. Proof number 5. The Ivanka Trump and Chelsea Clinton friendship. Introduced by their husbands, the two reportedly immediately clicked well together. Here's what Chelsea Clinton had to say about Ivanka in 2012. Quote, "She's always aware of everyone around her and ensuring that everyone is enjoying the moment. There's nothing skin deep about Ivanka. And I think that's a real tribute to her because certainly anyone as gorgeous as she is could have probably gone quite far being skin deep." Now, rumors are flying about how the recent election has affected their friendship, and while there are no clear statements from either Ivanka or Chelsea, we can safely assume the two are not on the same page when it comes to politics. When Ivanka came out and shared how proud that she was of her father, Chelsea Clinton gave a kind of different stance on the subject, saying that clearly Ivanka and her have different views about who they think should be president and who would be best to represent the country. At the end of the day, though, it seems that they both know that family comes first, and they're both proud of their parents' accomplishments. According to the news, in order to save a few headaches from their parents, Ivanka and Chelsea no longer appear in the public eye. So their friendship seems to be on hold until after the campaign and the election is over. But can they recover everything that's been lost during this time? Chelsea has come out to say that she would clearly never have any kind of relationship with Donald Trump, and that her relationship would always be with his daughter. This is clearly going to be a rough one, and we hope that the two can bring their friendship back together until it's all over. But just how stable is the overall friendship between Clinton and Trump these days? All one has to do is to look at some remarks by the two candidates and what they've had to say about each other, and we can safely assume that their friendship boat has sailed and doesn't really plan to return to the dock anytime soon. The two have clearly had a hard time holding back during debates, interviews, and their famous rallies. Trump even went so far as to say that he could say some terrible things about Clinton and her family at one of this year's debates, but changed his mind because they weren't nice. On Hillary's side, though, she's had some things to say about Donald Trump, including about his economic plan, calling it trumped-up, trickle-down economics because that's exactly what it would be. She also called out Trump and said that he lives in his own reality, stating that she's relieved that her father never did business with him. And what was Trump's reply? Well, he claimed that Hillary Clinton was the devil, and also gave one of these famous lines at his debates, saying, quote, "We have a divided nation because people like her, and believe me, she has tremendous hate in her heart." Trump definitely doesn't hold back when it comes to expressing his feelings towards Clinton, and he made that clear with stating that all talk and no action sounds good, but it's never going to work. Our country is suffering because of people like Secretary Clinton. One can only wonder what's going to happen to their friendship once one of them becomes the President of the United States. Will they be able to remain civil with each other? After all of the debates and the rallies this year, we highly doubt it. After all, every breakup has a reason, and every ex is your ex for a reason. Hopefully, though, something good can come out of this one. Leave your comments about it all below, and thanks for watching.
I knew Donald Trump. I represented New York. I got to know him.
You were at his wedding?
I was at his wedding. That's right.
Did he register for gifts at his wedding?
I don't remember.
Did you get him a wedding gift?
I went to his wedding.
So you guys were apparently friendly. I know he said he told Greta Van Susteren that
Right.
he something to the effect of, I don't want to get his quote wrong because I'll be killed by him. He said he thinks you're a terrific woman and you were doing a good job, which is a bold thing to say about Hillary Clinton on Fox News. But now you guys are running against each other, and he says you're the worst Secretary of State in the history of the United States. Is it like professional wrestling where you guys all pretend to dislike each other to win these elections, and then you're all pals behind the scenes?
And you're all pals behind the scenes?
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years. I live in New York, she lives in New York, and I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. And I think she really works hard, and I think she's given an agenda. It's not all of her, but I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her.
Do you think that she says she's out at the end of this term? Do you think we're going to see her again running for office?
I think so. I think, assuming she's healthy, which I hope she will be, I think she probably runs after the next 4 years, I would imagine.
You support her?
I don't want to get into this because I'll get myself into trouble. But
That's why I asked you, to see if we get in trouble.
I just like her. I like her, and I like her husband. Her husband made a speech on Monday at Mar-a-Lago, and it was very well received. And he's a really good guy, and she's a really good person and woman.
I love you.
You've often referred to Bill Clinton, and you talked about his relationship with your father and how it developed, and your mother as well, and he's your brother from another mother. What does that make Hillary Clinton to the Bush family?
My sister-in-law.
Interesting.
What does that make Hillary Clinton to the Bush family? My sister-in-law.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Donald Trump is a stooge for Hillary Clinton. He's a plant. He's a ringer to sink the chances of Republican candidates who actually have a chance of defeating Hillary.
We're a bunch of fools, and we're being led by a fool.
Hillary has already been chosen by the political elite to be the next president. Trump has no chance of defeating Hillary. That's why he's been catapulted to become the front runner in the GOP race. Shortly before Trump announced his decision to run, he received a mysterious phone call from Bill Clinton.
I didn't get a phone call from Bill Clinton before I jumped in the race. Did any of you get a phone call from Bill Clinton? I didn't. Maybe it's because I hadn't given money to the foundation or donated to his wife's Senate campaign.
As The Hill's Brent Badowski writes, if that phone call was about how Trump could act as a spoiler for the GOP race, Clinton would have told Trump to do everything that he's done since. Personally attacking other GOP candidates, alienating Hispanics, drowning out the message of new and fresh candidates. Check, check, check. Now look at the polls. Even at the height of his popularity and while Clinton is under FBI investigation, Trump trails Hillary 36 to 48%. He's still way behind. Whereas other GOP candidates like Scott Walker are tied in a hypothetical head-to-head with Hillary, but they're not going to get a chance to take her on. Until recently, Trump praised the Clintons, his longtime personal friends, every chance he got.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years.
You support her?
I don't want to get into this because I'll get myself into trouble, but I just like her.
That's why I asked you, to see if we get into trouble.
I just like her. I like her, and I like her husband. Hillary's always surrounded herself with very good people. I think Hillary would do a good job.
That's